Thank you very much, Miriam. That was wonderful. Really, really. Thank you. Our next reader tonight is Donika Kelly. Donika's debut collection, Bestiary, was selected by Nikki Finney for the 2015 Kavikanen Poetry Prize and longlisted for the National Book Award. She holds an MFA in writing from the Mishner Center for Writers at the University of Texas at Austin. And in 2013, she received a PhD in English from Vanderbilt University, where she specialized in American literature and film studies. Donika is a Kavikanen Graduate Fellow and a 2004 June Fellow of Bucknell Seminar for Younger Poets. Her poems have appeared in various journals, including West Branch, Indiana Review, Virginia Quarterly Review, and others. Donika is an assistant professor at St. Bonaventure University, where she teaches creative writing. Donika?
All right, y'all. There we go. No, thank y'all for coming out. It's a beautiful day. Today I'm very excited to see the sun, which is not a thing that seems to exist in Western New York. They don't have it. I don't understand. So I'm happy to be here. It's nice to be back. It's so lovely to read in this space and with Miriam. So I'm just going to jump in. So there are a few tracts, I think of them as tracts in the collection. There's a series of poems that are titled Love Poem, and then there's a colon, and then a mythological animal. Right, so that's that. That's how that sort of works. And so I thought I would just read those because I'm in the mood to read love poems. That's my life right now. I feel really good about it. So that's what we're going to do. So thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to start with love poem Chimera. And I don't know if you're aware, but a chimera has the body of a lion, like the head of a lion, like paws and stuff, and then there's like the tail is like a snake, and sometimes it's the head of a snake is at the end of the tail, sometimes it's not. There's a goat's head in the middle of the back, inexplicably. Also inexplicable. I'm fine with like the lion's body and the snake tail. I'm like, sure, why not? There's a logic there. With the goat's head, I'm like, you've lost me. The Greeks, I don't know what you were doing. So, love poem Chimera. I thought myself lion and serpent, thought myself body enough for two, for we found comfort in never being lonely. What burst from my back, from my bones, what lived along the ridge, from crown to crown, from mane to forked tongue beneath the skin, what clamor we made in the birthing. What hiss and rumble at the splitting, at the horns and beard, at the glottal bleat, what bridges our back. What strong neck, what bright eye, what menagerie are we, what we've made of ourselves. So most folks know what a Pegasus is. A horse with wings. Sure, why not? It's a thing that makes sense. What you might not know is that I forget which dude it was, Perseus, Theseus, Aeneas, one of those guys, when he chopped off the head of Medusa, Perseus, out from Medusa's neck sprung Pegasus. You might wonder about the gestation period, as I do. Again, this is going to be a refrain. I don't know what the Greeks were doing. There was another monster, but like another sort of creature that like emerged from Medusa's neck as well, but I tend not to remember because it's not as cute as the Pegasus. So love poem Pegasus. Fold, fully grown from my mother's neck, her severed head, the silenced snakes. Call this freedom. My first cry, a beating of wings, abandon. Call me orphan before I even know what a mother is. I think myself arising, feather and hoof, neigh and caw, and you, always on my back. You bear a sword and shield, remind me of her labor, her stoning gaze. What beast will your blade free next? What call will you loose from another woman's throat? Okay. So sort of later on in the book, these poems sort of take a little bit of a turn towards like a romantic love kind of situation as opposed to a familial love kind of thing. And so this next poem is Love Poem Centaur. I like to draw people's attention to the structure of the centaur. Horse's body instead of a neck, another torso, another set of limbs. Like, just sit with that a little bit. It's almost like an insect, right? Like, it's like, there's like an insect kind of pop. That's not the point of this poem, I just thought y'all might want to hear that. Love Poem Centaur. Nothing approaches a field like me. Hard gallop, hard chest, hooves and mane and flicking tail. My love, I apprehend each flower, each winged body, saturated in a light that burnishes. I would make a burnishing of you, by which I mean a field in flower, by which I mean a breaching. My hands making an arrow of themselves, rooting the lucent dirt. I would make for you the barest of sounds, wing against wing, there at the point of articulation, love. I pound the earth for you. I pound the earth. I want to tell you right now, that is not a sustainable space for me. It's just like, we're gonna make a minor revision here. Love Poem Centaur. I have never known a field as wild as your heart, or galloped or hardened my breast in the sun. I call my own bluff and bravado. What I apprehend needs no apprehension. What I make stands undone. Here is my hand, soft, uncalloused. Here, a lock of my mane. Now I am afraid, and so I turn to the field, the flower and red beetle in winter light, the cardinal hen, your pretty brown bird, cutting the sky. So the next poem, Love Poem Satyr. Satyr, there's a goat body, some goat legs. I imagine satyrs, I don't know if y'all spent time imagining satyrs, but I imagine they're not very tall. Like maybe like this. So like goat leg, man body, like torso, arms, little horns, often a beard. I just like to give y'all like a picture. I like to remind myself of just like, I like to sit in the wonder of like whatever was happening because I do not understand. And that's okay.
There's no extra limbs on that.
No, just goat legs. Yeah, it's a little more sensible than some of the other ones, yeah. You're right, Greg, you're right. Love Poem Satyr. I have filed my horns and trimmed my beard and warmed my throat into a fine and sober warble. I play a little song in the key of your name. I call to you with the breath of spring, a small wind warmed in my breast and shaped by the lips you loved. Love. I see you've closed the window to your heart, close to the door and black the light. I put my ear to the glass, to the wood. I hear your heart like the wind in the reeds, meeting out my name. Love Poem Mermaid. And y'all know that situation. You might have questions, but most of us don't know, right? Do you ever look into a mirror, which is also an ocean heavy with sun? Do you ever pull your hair wet over your shoulder to dry as you sit and sing for another's death? Love, I am made for calling. Bare breast, smooth tail, the perfect balance of scales. I have claimed this rock, which is also your heart, which is also a shell I hold to my ear to hear what is right in front of me. I am a witness to the sea and the sun, to your body lashed to the mast. Oh, that my voice were a knife, that a knife could change anything, that there was nothing between us but salt and breath. Love Poem Werewolf. At the threshold, your hand heavies, widens into a fist, a knock. The door's yellow eye mocks you, and you wish your back would split. You wish the coat would burst from your skin. You have no patience. You are full of want and marrow. The moon is new and knew this desire to be your heaviest self. Again, you knock. Again, the mocking eye. You damn the moon, its darkness, your shuffling boots, your impotent hands. You have a howl for this dark well. It sits out a whimper. I think I'm going to read this poem that is related to the series, but it maybe explains some things. I don't read it too often, but I think tonight makes sense. Little box. The woman you love is afraid she is hurting you. This is the source of her fear. You are afraid to say, I am hurting. You are crying. You are afraid your parents will discover that you are crying again and send you again to therapy, where a woman with long hair and a long skirt will point to the dollhouse and ask where the mother doll sleeps, and the father, and if they have a child, where the child doll sleeps. You speak in therapy. Every statement begins, I feel, even when you mean, why are you hurting me? You'd rather be a simpler animal. You try to imagine what the bear feels, the seal, the otter, always a little group of three. You worry they are not, in fact, simpler, but you are sure they are never lonely. You hate your loneliness as you hated yourself as a child. You are bored with your hatred. You want her to stop hurting you. You want to say, I love you again and again. This will change nothing. And you've already said it. When you were a child in therapy, you understood where each doll went. You learned not to cry. There is no teacher now to tell your parents in any way your mother doesn't remember you, and you are settling into hating your father, though you are afraid you are as careless and cruel as they taught you to be. You will see your therapist in 2 weeks. Her hair is short, and she is from the same city as the woman you love. You will tell her you are sad and hurting. You will be matter of fact. You will think of the seal, a mother perhaps, how she might be lonely for a lost pup, but there will be another, and she will forget that the one that was eaten by an orca or polar bear or neglect. You will tell your therapist none of this. You will no longer speak to the woman who has your heart. You will put her in the room farthest away from your own. She will sleep where the father should be. Love poem, Griffin. Griffin. So bring him back. Griffin. Body of a lion, mostly. Eagle wings, eagle head, talons. How is the eagle the same size as the lion? They're guardians. That's what a griffin do, all right? Love poem, Griffin. I am busy. Busy guard, dog, lion. What kind of bird am I, lazy to sit here so long in the act of guarding? Call me priceless. Call me worthless. Mishmash I am, hybrid I am. Here, let me hold you in my paw. Talon, little mouse, little chimney sweep, little dream I dreamed as I waited for you to call me, lonely on the building's edge. Call the waiting not what it is, foolish, but a kind of bravery, a kind of patience, kindness. Here, I have for you a mouse, a boy booted black, that's an old dream. See how he sits in my paw. Talon, let me unfurl that you might see what fear looks like in a small face. Love poem, Danica. This is that. There's no hybrid situation. This is the thing. Love poem, Danica. This is a spring of shambles, of meadows slow to flower, of fires sitting the underbrush, and love, I am lonely as a bear. I am no good at bearish things. Fish or forage, my hands are too small and slow to clip the salmon thick in the heat of spawn. I do not know where berries are, or honey, or campers, or the greening branch. I am tired of mounting this hill alone. Love, how do I gain what was lost in winter? I'm gonna read two more. This next one is not a part of the love poem series, but I feel like it is also important for context. What gay porn has done for me. Only the boys for me now, hard-bellied and fucking, or fucked. Call it comfort or truth how they look, not at the camera as women do, but at one another, or to God. How they know where their faces go. They open their mouths, they spread their cheeks, they come on everything. On everything. Each body is a body on display, and one I am meant to see and desire. I am learning to love the look of men. I am learning what to do with my face, and I come on anything I like. Love poem Minotaur. I feel like those things are related somehow. We can talk about how later. Love poem Minotaur. Minotaur, head of a bull, body of a man, diet of virgins. What's happening? Anybody? It's fine. I mean, it's done. So, love poem Minotaur. Freedom is a thread of light snaking the canyon like an ant through a conch. A goodbye to each dead end and small room. Salt, once of the sea, now of the wind, now on my brow making a witness of me. I open my mouth to the wind. The wind opens my heart, my breast. I leave the bare bones behind. I leave the soul, once another's, once my own, there in that maze of sand, mortar, and bellows. A golden light hails me, pulls me like a worm from the earth. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much, Donika. Thank you, Miriam. It was just a pleasure to have you both. It's a pleasure to have everybody here at the store. The books are available over there. Please buy them. We have other books too, and we have snacks. Thank you.
Thank you.